and welcome to the 5960 podcast for the February-March time frame. I'm Tony Hufford. This month, we have a special report from the Education Committee on White Shirt Day, a report from the Chairman, Joel Persinger, and also a report from the President, Louis Rocha. I'll be right back after this important message from the 5960 Education Committee. Everybody had a great time this year at the 5960 White Shirt Day celebration. The Education Committee set up a walk-through labor museum, and one of the exhibits was this video from sit-down striker William T. Connolly.
Last time they fired me, they fired me 4 times. The last time they fired me, my boss told me to go back down to the office. And I says, no. He said, you refusing the order? I said, yeah. I'm a committee man on agreements right now, and I'm negotiating these agreements. Until those agreements is negotiated, you are not going to fire me. So he sent for plant protection. And plant protection come up, and he says, are you going to go downstairs, Bill? I said, not my own free will. He said, okay, I got it. So he got back at me and pushed me. I went 3 steps and stopped. He come up and pushed me again. I went 3 more steps and stopped. By that time, the whole cushion was hollering and banging and screaming. So I got to the stairway, and I said, don't push me down the stairs, please. I'll walk down. So I walked down the stairs. I got to the bottom of the steps, and I stood still again. And so he pushed me again, and I walked 3 steps and stopped. Well, by that time, the people downstairs, the workers downstairs, witnessed all this, and they became excited, want to know why their leader was being pushed out of the plant. So I'd no sooner gotten to the office, and Charlie Shin walked down, and he says, if Bill Connie ain't back on the floor in 5 minutes, this plant's going down. So they didn't intimidate the office people any. They just sat there and waited them out. So then the plant did go down. And they found out that Charlie wasn't bluffing. So they said to me, now, Bill, you're president of the union. You go out there and put them guys back to work. I said, I'm sorry. I'm not the president of the union. He says, who is? I said, I don't know. But I was fired. And the first prerequisite of being an officer in our union is you got to be an active employee official body, which I'm not. So I said, you have to get somebody else to push him back to work. So they sent for the chairman of the bargaining committee. And he says, Bill, you got to put them people back to work. I says, no, I don't. I said, I'm not the president of the union anymore. So I said, you know that. So the labor relations man says, okay, I want you and you to come out in the hall with me. That was the other labor relations man and the superintendents. So they was out there 3 minutes to come back, and he said, okay, Conley, you're reinstated. Now you're again president of the union. Get out there and put those guys back to work. I said, okay. So I started out the door, and labor relations man started out with me. I said, I don't need you. He said, we're coming anyway. He said, still our property. So I says, okay. So I walked up to the pickets and told them that it was an illegal strike after I was put back to work, and that they should go back to work. So they said, okay, if that's what you really want. So I went back to the plant, and Labor Relations took me upstairs and put me on my job. I says, no, that's not where I was when I was fired. Right here is where I was when I was fired. I was talking to this lady. So I went back and finished the grievance and won it. And then I said, okay, now I'll go back to work.
What a great report from the Education Committee. And we hope to see you all again next year at White Shirt Day 2017. Now let's take a look at the report from the chairman. This portion of the show is provided by the Body Shop, where everything goes together.
So the Sonic sales were up 4.5%, which is a good thing for us because I paid $1.35 at Costco this morning. And it's unbelievable how cheap gas is right now. And Verano's were up 3%. And so we built, Orion built 3,597 vehicles in the month of January. So the profit sharing was $11,000, which would equate to $5.94 per hour for your paycheck for every hour you worked last year. And a lot of people say, well, you know, first we had tier 1s and we had tier 2s, and then we went to the progression hiring. So everybody is going to work up to the top scale. If you got 1 year, it's going to take you 8 years. But if you got 6 or 7, you're going to roll in. But we almost went on strike for that right there. Because as soon as they give us the pay raises, that was the last thing on the table. And they were not going to give us that if it wasn't for the national bargaining team to stick in there and win this for us. Because I'll tell you what, $11,000 is a lot of money for 49,100 people. And I don't care who says that that contract wasn't good, because it is a good contract. But anyway, don't get me started. So obviously in April, we have the 2nd, the 9th, the 23rd. So that means in April, we're only going to be off one Saturday, which is, so. But the other thing is, with these Saturdays, if you have a job and it can't get done, as long as you don't come back to your job late, sit on your cell phone, well, we don't read papers anymore, we read our cell phones. But if you have a job that can't get done and you say, well, I can't, the union's not backing me, listen, there's only one person that can fight that job, and that's you. I will come out, support, the committee will come out, support. If you can't get the job done, don't be intimidated, put a call in. So in the SAP program, we had 79 members sign up for it. So if you think about 4,100 people times $60,000, now tell me that's a bad agreement. I don't know. So with that, we got lots of transfers coming. Net hire, there's a lot of people getting closer to home. A lot of people say they're just leaving Orion. But the bottom line is, if you live near Flint, you want to transfer near Flint. If you live towards Detroit, you should be working at Deham. So we do have a lot of transfers going. And the other thing is, if you go to a powertrain or a parts plant, it's a lot easier than working in an assembly plant. You know, at Orion, we got 85% of our jobs are assembly. And then that leaves us with 15% of decent jobs. So, but like I said, you exercise paragraph 7A. Every one of our skilled trades is working at another facility right now, and no one hit the street. Vacation forms will be returned February 29th. That concludes my report.
Thanks for that report, Joel. And now let's take a look at the report from President Louis Rocha. This portion of the show was sponsored by General Assembly and Final Process.
So the scholarship applications are in the back also, with the Standing Committee Scholarship, if you will, and the Region 1D's Director Scholarship. So all those, I can't remember when the deadline for those are, but it's like March or something in that area. So they're back there. The Black Lake Family Scholarship is a real nice one. That's during the week of shutdown, the first week there of July. You know, you submit to be able to go to Black Lake. And of course, it is on your own time, but they will house you, feed you, and educate you and your families. So it's a real nice event to go on out there to get a little bit more of the history, if you will, of the UAW. And they're all on the website. All of the scholarships are all on the website. And of course, you know, we keep having issues with unemployment. This is the number that we need to call, the 0077. That 0017 number, that's a third-party agency that's out there that a lot of times really does get things screwed up. So staying focused on this number. Any issues out there, I keep on trying to get them all resolved, so just let me know and we'll go from there. We're still pushing, of course, with the TAA. VQQN subsystem has been approved. It's still under investigation for Sedacia, Oakland, Stampin, and Lear. There's, I know, registration for school for so what would it be? The spring semester is starting in March, and there's a lot of those out there that are anxious for that. I am pushing that. I had a discussion with Michigan Works last week, asking them if they received this information, and they still have not. And we talked a little bit about the Flint water crisis, and honestly, this is coming out of Region 1D here, Gerald Corrine, and they're saying they do have quite a bit of water, you know, and it's much appreciated. But so if you're interested in donating and helping out, they are looking for some monies, and you can send your check right to this place, and they say that 100% of that monies will be used toward the crisis. None of that monies that goes to this place right here, you know, and it has to be titled just as such, will be used for administrative costs. It all will go directly to help everyone in the city of Flint. And as we were talking about the primary, the presidential primary, and for those of you who's interested, of course, we know this debate is coming to Flint, Sunday, March 6th. Still, a location hasn't been established yet, and we're still trying to figure out how to get tickets too. So anyone interested in stuff, stay in touch with me, Gerald, and we're working on that. And that concludes my report. Been moved and supported. Any discussion on my report?
Thanks for that report, Lewis. And now, let's take a look at the upcoming events for the near future. This portion of the show sponsored by the Paint Shop, making our lives colorful. The next membership meeting is Sunday, March 6th at 2 p.m. The Veterans Benefit Awareness class will begin Saturday, March 5th, and the second session will be held Saturday, March 12th. Both sessions will begin at 9 a.m. and conclude at 3 p.m. March 25th is Good Friday, and Orient Assembly will be down for production, and also on Monday, March 28th, the day after Easter. Thanks to the UAW for that additional holiday. Thanks for tuning in to the UAW 5960 podcast. Don't forget to feel the wheel at uaw5960.org. And you can always contact the podcast staff anytime at educationcommittee@uaw5960.org. Don't forget, you're the U in Union. I'm Tony Hufford for UAW Local 5960. We'll see you next time.